few months ago, astronomers spotted something racing through our solar system. Not from within, but something from outer space. Moving at over 130,000 miles per hour, faster than any comet we've ever tracked, this mysterious traveler called 3I Atlas has now become the most closely observed interstellar object in history. And now, it's back in the news again. Because just last week, it passed by Mars, giving us our closest look yet at any interstellar object. And the deeper we look, the stranger it gets. Some say it is a comet, while some believe that it could be something artificial. In this video, we'll explore what we know so far, what remains uncertain, and why some think that it might be more than just rock and ice. But first, let's start with a recap. 3I Atlas was first discovered on July 1, 2025, when the Atlas Survey Telescope, set up in Rio Hurtado, Chile, flagged an object in its nightly scan, reporting it to the Minor Planet Center. At first, it seemed like just another faint moving point, but something didn't add up. Soon after, astronomers dug into archive data. They found pre-discovery images from Atlas and the Zwicky Transient Facility from mid and late June, showing the object was already drifting inward before the July reports. These early detections weren't made in real time, but they confirmed its path and speed. Its hyperbolic trajectory and high velocity meant it wasn't orbiting the Sun and has come from outside the solar system, making it the third interstellar object to enter our solar system after Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019. Oumuamua was strange. It was cigar-shaped and had no comet tail, and it weirdly started accelerating on its way out, which even sparked all those alien probe theories. Borisov, however, was a textbook comet. Gas, dust, tail. Everything a normal comet should have, except the one thing that it wasn't from our solar system. And now, 3I Atlas sits somewhere in between. It seems to behave like a comet, but not exactly like one, which has left scientists scratching their heads. So what exactly is different about 3I Atlas? Well, scientists started to find differences in the way 3I Atlas was behaving right from the start. By the time it was discovered, it was already near Jupiter's orbit, about 4.5 astronomical units from the Sun, still far away in the cold reaches of solar system where sunlight is weak. Normally, comets don't wake up that far out, but 3I Atlas was already venting materials. Within weeks, the Hubble Space Telescope spotted a coma, a glowing cloud of dust and gas around it. By August, as it got a little closer, the data became even stranger. Readings from Hubble and Gemini showed it was losing about 40 kilograms of water per second, even when it was nearly 3 astronomical units away. That's incredibly far for such intense activity. For comparison, typical solar system comets need to be half that distance before their ice really starts boiling off. Scientists think the surface of 3I Atlas might be far more fragile, perhaps loaded with volatile material sitting right on the surface rather than buried deep beneath layers of dust. Then came the next surprise. Using NASA's SphereX and the James Webb Space Telescope, astronomers began mapping what this thing was made of. They expected water vapor to dominate the readings. That's usually what happens when sunlight heats a comet. But instead, they found something very different: carbon dioxide. A thick cloud of carbon dioxide gas surrounded it, while water was barely detectable. This kind of composition suggests it formed in a much colder, more carbon-rich environment than our own solar system. Trajectory modeling, using data from Gaia telescope, suggests that 3I Atlas may have originated from the more remote parts between the Milky Way's thin and thick disks, and it could be about 10 billion years old, making it even older than the Sun. As for its size, early images from the Vera C. Rubin Observatory indicated that it could be about 11 kilometers wide, 100 times bigger than Oumuamua, and even comparable to the comet that wiped out the dinosaurs. But that turned out to be an illusion caused by the bright coma surrounding it. Once the glare was removed, the nucleus, the solid core, looked much smaller. Current models suggest it might only be a few kilometers across, though the exact figure still carries a wide margin of uncertainty. Even so, it is still big enough to survive its trip around the Sun, and that makes the next few months very interesting. Now, every strange object in space brings its share of speculation, and this one's no exception. Harvard's Avi Loeb, the same scientist who suggested that Oumuamua could have been alien technology, has shared some interesting thoughts. He noticed that 3I Atlas's path lines up almost perfectly with the plane of the solar system, within just a few degrees of the ecliptic. It also passes near Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. He also pointed out that instead of just ejecting dust and gas away from the Sun, 3I Atlas is also ejecting some material toward it. Despite showing some anomalies, none of these is a solid proof of anything artificial. But it's enough to keep the what-if question alive. What if it isn't just a comet? What if it's something artificial? Maybe debris from an ancient civilization, or a lost probe drifting between stars. But before you get too excited, here's what most scientists agree on. So far, there's no credible evidence that 3I Atlas is artificial. NASA, ESA, and every major observatory agree that its coma, tail, and gas jets behave exactly as expected from a natural comet. The so-called anomalies? They can be explained by uneven heating, dust jets, or simply observational noise. There's been no sign of any intelligent maneuvering, no radio signals, and no course changes. In fact, its trajectory has been remarkably stable and has shown no deviations from gravitational predictions. Still, many people continue to believe in alien theory, partly because the gaps in data leave room for imagination. To Loeb's credit, he doesn't claim that it is alien technology, he just argues we shouldn't dismiss the possibility outright. But the reality is that science works on evidence, and so far, none supports the extraordinary claim. Now what happens next is going to be fascinating to watch. On October 3rd, 2025, 3I Atlas made its closest approach to Mars, passing within 29 million kilometers. The orbiters around Mars from NASA and ESA captured data and images as it passed the red planet. Now, it's heading toward its perihelion or closest point to the Sun, which will happen in late October, somewhere around 1.3 astronomical units. That's when it'll face maximum heat. If it's going to do anything dramatic like breaking apart, flare up, or eject material, that's when it'll happen. Around October 21st, it will move behind the Sun from our point of view, and for a few weeks, no telescope on Earth will be able to see it. This, predictably, has already sparked another round of internet rumors. People are saying things like, it will change course when no one is watching. But astronomers are prepared. As soon as it reappears in December, they'll compare its new position with previous models. If anything changes even by a small margin, they'll know right away. After that, 3I Atlas will keep moving outward past Jupiter's orbit by early 2026 and then vanish into deep space. But by the time it leaves, 3I Atlas would have already taught us more about interstellar chemistry than either Oumuamua or Borisov did. So, what do you think? Is 3I Atlas an alien spaceship or just a comet? Honestly, 3I Atlas is almost certainly natural comet, although not the kind we are used to seeing. It's weird, fragile, and unpredictable. It's not a proof of alien intelligence. At least, not yet. But that's what makes it interesting. Each interstellar visitor gives us another piece of the cosmic puzzle. They show us how diverse planetary systems can be and how much we still don't know about the galaxy around us. I know some of us want it to be more. A probe, a ship, a signal from someone else. We want a story, a sign, maybe even proof that we are not alone. But science moves at the speed of evidence. As Carl Sagan once said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and right now that evidence isn't there. What we do have though is a fascinating mystery, one still unfolding in real time. Because somewhere out there, 3I Atlas is still heating up, shedding its ancient dust into sunlight for the first time in billions of years. And maybe someone long ago on a distant world once looked up at it too, wondering where it would go next. So that's it for today's video. If you'd like to keep following this mystery as it unfolds, make sure you're subscribed, I'll post an update when 3i Atlas passes the Sun. Until then, keep looking up and stay curious.